We are here today with the founder and executive director of the African community, who is Gordon Halm. We are here today to talk about Ghana's history, the economy, and also the ceremony that took place last Saturday on March 10th.
This gone Saturday, which was March 10th, actually our independence falls on March 6th. But knowing the city that we live, Monday to Friday is a busy time to, folks to go to work. So we choose Saturdays to do our flag raising. And this gone Saturday was the 16th annual event of the Ghana Independence Celebration. We had our independence since March of 1957, and it was led by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who led the independence of Ghana with other men and women that helped him to obtain the independence.
This ceremony means a lot to me because as an immigrant from Ghana, to be in Lowell and to be accepted into the community, the mayor opening his reception hall for us to come to the city hall also to have this event means a lot to me, and to see my fellow Ghanaians in this place all together and to see my flag, the flag of Ghana outside the city hall means so much to me.
Especially with what's going on in our community now, what's going on in the United States in general. The times that we're in, there's a lot of divisiveness going on. There's a lot of hatredness, a lot of bigotry. So to live in a community of Lowell where, we're able to come here to raise our flags and, just show our cultural and acceptance and have the mayor of this city as well as the council members. I think it's very important. They just, let our kids see that the importance of it, to embrace their culture. They're born here, so they're American and they're Ghanaian, but just to see the inclusiveness all overall, it's very special to me, and I think that it goes a long way because, when we all come together, we can definitely move forward. So I really appreciate being able to have this service every year.
So on March 10th, you had the flag raising last Saturday. Can you explain the event in detail?
Well, sure. So the event is where we raised our flag, and as you saw, the colors of our flag is red, the yellow, green, and then the black star. The red signifies the blood that our forefathers shed when they fought for the independence. The yellow is the gold, the land of the gold that we have in Ghana. And the green represent the plantation, the forest, and then the black star is the people. So it is a day that like I said earlier, that every Ghanaian look up for this day when it becomes 6 March. It's a day that we are so passionate about, and we celebrate in terms of freedom. Having the freedom is something that our forefathers felt that, yes, we deserve to have that, and we are very proud of what they did for us.
The flag of Ghana means a lot. It's a flag that basically speaks a lot about who we are, where we are coming from, and where we intend to go. It talks about the blood that our forefathers shed. It talks about the riches of our land, the agricultural opportunities that we have, and it talks about unity as Black people, that we can come together and basically support one another for our existence as human beings.
The flag of Ghana is, very significant because it talks about the fight. So our colors are red, yellow, and green, and the black stars in the middle. The black star is actually, adopted from Marcus Garvey, and he was a freedom rights leader here in America. but it just shows, what the African community, the Africans of Ghana went through. We were the first country to gain independence in sub-Saharan Africa, so we are a beacon of democracy compared to other countries. And Ghana in general, we're all about democracy. So our flag shows that, the red stands for the blood that was shed. Forgive me on the yellow, but I know that the green is all about just moving forward. So it's very important. It's very significant, and you see those colors through other African nations as well.
During the independence, after the independence was happened, the first president declared an ideology called Pan-Africanism. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's unifying African descents.
Right.
So what is your opinion towards this ideology?
Well, to me, I think that having African united we stand, divided we fall. So I mean, if we go back to Pan-Africanism, I feel that Kwame Nkrumah initially wanted the African to be one united Africa. That did not work at the time, but I think there's a chance that someday it might happen. It might happen in my lifetime or not. Yeah, so we're yet to see.
Do you believe you use this ideology to unite your community?
Yes, and that is the essence of the center. So the center, I being an African and happen to be born in Ghana. The center is not just serving people from Ghana, but people from the whole African continent, and which happens people from Somalia, people from Guinea, from Senegal. I mean, everybody that comes from the continent of Africa, is welcome.
When Ghana had independence, but when I look at videos and photos, I could see Martin Luther King, who visited Ghana during that time, and and Kwame Nkrumah being the pioneer of the independence, and the speech that he made during declaring our independence. I mean, you can link them, you can connect them and see that the civil rights, which was going on in America, had a great influence on Ghana having our independence.
Nkrumah, who was, our president that led us to independence, he studied a lot on American history back then, and he was very instrumental. I know that instrumental with, in terms of when you look at Martin Luther King, his principles. It incorporates a lot of the same things that Kwame Nkrumah also thought, and vice versa. So I think, at that whole time, the whole nation, the whole continent was coming together based on what was going on in America as well as going on in Ghana, and everybody's just trying to get their freedom and, for civil rights.
We had our independence 6 March of 1957, and it was led by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who led the independence of Ghana with other men and women that helped him to obtain the independence. Ghana has come a long way. We have made tremendous progress.
So it began with Ghana fighting for its freedom, Africa fighting for their freedom. You have all the European nations there. Africa is viewed as a huge continent with huge human resources as well as natural resources. This brought the attention and the envy of the rest of the world to concentrate in colonizing the continent in order to gain their own interests.
It's a celebration that Ghanaians, no matter where you are, we will look up to the day 6 March when we got the independence. And as you know, to be independent is the nicest thing under the sun.
In 1804, we had Haiti. Haiti was able to be the second in the Western Hemisphere to achieve independence. It was historical because it was for Black people, it was for people of color. And then it had to take so many years, over 100 years later, and then we have Ghana coming with the independence. Another inspiration for minority world, for the Black world, that we can work together to get our independence, freedom, equal opportunity, and to grow and to develop our nations. Then in 2008, at the November elections, we have President Barack Obama becoming the first president. These are steps that are of inspiration to development around the world. That people of color, with our white brothers and sisters, we all hold equal endowment from the Creator, and that we should be able to have the right to have our independence. And of course, once we get independence, the expectation is very high. Everybody expects that overnight we're gonna get all that we have been deprived of. But again, we're looking at the process of developing ourselves. And to develop ourselves, we have to have a background foundation. We have to be able to have institutions that can help us to move towards democracy. Democracy is a complex process. When we look up to the United States, in particular, as having our black populations here right from the inception of that nation, it still took a long time, even for women, not able to vote until 1921, while the country had already been in existence since 1776. It didn't, when you look at African Americans, it was only until as recent as 1964 that the Voting Rights Acts were passed, 64, 65, 68. So it is a process that takes patience. And as much as Ghana has been able to get the independence, and Nkrumah saw it foremost with his vision that it is meaningless until the whole of the continent is liberated. So even with our surpluses that we have at independence, Nkrumah saw the need to distribute, to help others to reach the goal of freedom.
That day, we're all proud, and we come out with our full colors and give our best to our country.
In the words of Reverend Martin Luther King, we may have all come from different ships, but we are all in one boat. And I thank each one of you for coming. May God bless you. May God bless our homeland Ghana. May God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
If you even go to the website of the African Community Center website, which is acclaw.org, the speech has been posted. It was given by Reverend Joseph Wilson, who is the pastor of United Centerville Methodist Church of Lowell, and he was our keynote speaker.
God has programmed for each nation. God has programmed for each town. God has programmed everything, even for the stars and sky in the sky. God has programmed everything. And so our apportionment will come one day. This is the time. We have seen things and have gone through troubles and snares, and this is the time that some Savior has come into our being to save Ghana again. It is our all duty to support him and to work with him. As Kwame Nkrumah said, we will always have to work with happiness. And so he said, work and happiness is my most confidence. All must do our best for beautiful Ghana. I will do my best.
What made you want to start this organization?
I know that in every community, if you don't feel the sense of belonging, and if you feel that your voice is not being heard, then it means there is something that is lacking. So forming this community-centered African Community Center is just for the Africans here in the city to sort of have the community know that, yes, we are here. We have come from different places. We've come from the north, we come from the south, we come from the east and west, and we are here to contribute for the betterment of the city. This is a city that we have raised our children, and so we feel that we have an obligation also to help.
Mm-hmm. So what is the mission and values of your community?
Well, the values is hardworking. We are all here to contribute for building a safe and a good community. So our values go beyond that. Education, hard working is what we really value in terms of just being engaged and being involved with the city's day-to-day engagement.
And I'll say this very, very candidly. In part, I'm being very, very selfish in this endeavor because I want to learn. Some of you may have heard of, everybody's heard about Albert Einstein. And Albert Einstein famously observed, the more I learn, I know nothing.
I pledge myself to the service of Ghana with all my strength and with all my heart. I promise to hold in high esteem our heritage, won for us through the blood and toil of our fathers. And I pledge myself in all things to uphold and defend the good name of Ghana. So help me God.
May you bless us all for being part of it in the name of Jesus. We pray for our country, Ghana, and may your hand continue to be on Ghana in the name of Jesus. We pray for the leadership of the country, and we give them insight, give them direction, lead them and guide them to do what is good for the country. And we pray for ourselves over here, oh God, that even as you have migrated here, may you give us the strength to live and work in a way that will give glory to you and also to our country, Ghana. We pray and we thank you for what you have given us by way of refreshments. May you bless and sanctify it in the name of Jesus. And when we die, oh Lord, as we die, let the love be shared amongst us. Let the unity, let the unity be strengthened amongst us. As we die, let us make friends and get to know each other in the name of Jesus. We pray that may you meet the needs of the Ghanaian community according to your riches and glory. This we ask in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Africans have come to this city, Lowell, for quite a long time. I'm sure as far back as late 70s, and most people come for different reasons. Some of them come for education, to further their education, or they come for a brighter future. But people come to Lowell because of maybe family related, or maybe a job. So for example, I might be here, and once I have a brother or a cousin who is coming, the possibility of the cousin coming to Lowell because me being here is greater. So we tend to follow whoever has taken the first step, and then once we come, they also show us the way, and that's how it is here within our community. And our community has grown from early 80s. There were only few Africans around here in the city of Lowell, but now the population of Africa has increased a lot, and some of the reason being that we have recently received refugees from Somalia, from Congo, and so on and so forth. So the African population is really increasing, and we have had so many children also here that also I'm sure they will grow up and also have kids, and it's always going to get bigger and bigger, and we call this city our second home.
Well, this ceremony means a lot to me. It reminds me of where I'm coming from, and it's a great celebration because for me, it's been a long journey, but through the sacrifices of our forefathers, they set the pace for us. They laid down their lives, and they gave us this opportunity for us to be able to also grow and develop, and to have the chance to travel around the world, and this day being the United States of America, and still be able to develop and be able to support my motherland, Ghana.
So as a community, obviously there's a sort of form of connection with one another. So what kind of support can someone find if they wanted to join this community?
they want to join the African Community Center. You mean? Yeah. Well, so the center we have. We do work with a lot of non-profit organizations here in the city. We work closely with the school department. So because most of our families have kids in the school, so we encourage the parents to stay involved. And one area that we feel that we are lacking is for us, a member of an African descent, to eventually become a member of the school committee or a city councilor. We haven't gotten there yet, but hopefully someday this will happen.
Personal celebration is basically with the family, watching various historical clips about our country and what our forefathers basically did for us, and especially the clip about Kwame Nkrumah, the president that basically led the country to gain its independence from the Europeans. And to remind the family, and especially our children, that we have a great heritage, and to get them to be part of it and integrate them into the community.
Pan-Africanism is also to unify and grow the economy. And in recent years, Ghana has increased, especially this year, by 8.3% economically. So what is your opinion towards the growing economy?
Well, again, like I said, we are making progress, but there is still, more to be done. I mean, if you call home, and because I have nephews and nieces that have completed secondary school or university, but still they don't have the job, and it's not in Ghana alone, but most places you have people completed universities and there's no job for them, so growing economy, well, the government is trying, but I don't think that it has come to a point that everybody is comfortable. Yet there are some people that are very comfortable with what they do, but yet there is a larger population of people that are also, suffering, so they're unemployed, and so on and so forth. So again, we have made progress, but there are still challenges ahead.
Currently, Ghana is the 60th percent for producing cocoa for export. So what is your opinion on that? There's been an increase on that, and then also there's been an increase on oil.
Well, to me, I think there should be a way that the farmers, the local producers of cocoa, get the necessary tools and resources to produce these items, the cocoa, in a larger quantity, So let's, for example, if you have a local farmer and who walks like 10 miles from his house to the farm, right? If we go to the extent of producing, having a vehicle or tractor for these people, I think, they will be in a better position to have a mass production, So I think the tools and the resources is very important for the local farmers to have it. And going back to the oil, again, it's all about management, So we've heard that Ghana is producing, oil refinery, and we just hope that those in charge will use the proceeds, for the country, but not for themselves.
So currently, cocoa is the country's 30% of agriculture produced, but also at the moment, climate change and also urbanization is affecting and decreasing the product. How do you think or would advise this to be changed?
Well, again, so if you have a government that have a certain group of people surrounding you that are very knowledgeable in that sector, I think that they need to be listened to. So whatever strategy or process that they put in place. They need to really think about it and then make the best decision for the country.
So, with all of this knowledge, do you believe that the community of Lowell should learn more about Ghana and the history and also all of the...
Oh, sure. I mean, we can never forget about our home, So, as far as we live here, we do have extended family home. Back in the days where cell phones are not available at the time, you write a letter and it takes maybe about a month to get a response. But now with the current technology, with your cell phone, Facebook, it makes it more easier for us to keep in touch, with our families back home. Now things are very easier. You can send a text message right that very second the person receives it. And so it is very crucial, very essential for us to stay in touch with our family and see the development of our country. And not only for Ghana, but for the African country as a whole and the world as a whole. We're just hoping that we find peace in wherever that we go.
Do you have a message for an African immigrant that might be interested in joining your community?
Yeah, I mean, the message I have for every African is that wherever and whenever you hear about the center, and try to make time to come and see what they do and what it's about. Again, it's a center that is just for us to make a difference in the community that we live. So my message is that if you happen to hear about the center through the word of mouth or by Facebook or any means, and if you have the time, please just make the time to come and then and ask more questions. Because I think the information is power, and then we can share whatever it is that we have for you. We're transparent. There's nothing that is being hid, So we see how we can all put our talents together to help the city.
Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
And I am Morgyn Joubert, and thank you so much for watching.